Hi, everyone. I'm David Kelly, Vice President of Program Development for the eLearning Guild, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to another Twist Conversation. Today, I'm pleased to be welcoming Jeff Batt, founder of Learning Dojo, and it's my pleasure to welcome you. Jeff, how you doing?
Good. How are you? It's good to be here.
Good to have you here. I know you're going to be at the mLearnCon conference and expo doing a workshop and a couple of sessions for us, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the mobile space and your work in it. Before we get started, can you take a few moments and introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, I'm Jeff Batt, Learning Dojo. I've been around in the e-learning realm for, I think, coming up on 9 years or so. I've been working with different e-learning software providers as well as e-learning brothers. Was their template library manager, working on different templates with a lot of different tools as well. And now I do a lot of training, tutorials, and different things like that.
Excellent. I know you've done a lot of work in the mobile space. You're going to be doing some talk about that at our mLearnCon conference. One of the things you're going to be doing is a workshop before the conference that's focusing on building responsive HTML content for a mobile device. And you hear that phrase a lot, the term responsive and the HTML5, that sort of content. Why are those two aspects of it so important, the responsive piece and also the HTML5 piece in a mobile environment?
Well, it's when I first started out in e-learning, the major thing to work with was Flash, and so Flash was basically the tool to go in and to customize to be able to create some interactive e-learning and get that out there. Well, we all know that Flash doesn't work on every single device, and we want to make sure that all of our content is actually workable on any device, on an iPhone, iPad, Android, or anything like that. So the thing to do that is to actually use HTML5. So it's, in this day and age, it's got to be HTML5. Anything that you produce has got to be able to be viewed on a mobile device, on an iPad. I think users just expect it. They expect to be able to open up their iPad and see a course, or open up their iPhone and see a course, or something like that. If it's not, they kind of lose that. I think the impression is maybe they think it's a little bit old or outdated or anything like that. Now, as far as responsive, I mean, you think about, okay, if you're going to be targeting these devices like iPads or Android tablets, well, you have hundreds of different devices out there, and all of them have different sizes. I looked at viewportsizes.com just before this, and that's a place to gather all different information of screen sizes and stuff like that. And they had over 286 entries in there with all different devices and all having different screen sizes. So responsiveness, you got to be able to adapt your content to these different devices. I think being able to provide the learner a learning experience on their device and something that meets or looks good on their device is really what you want to target and to be able to achieve. You want to give the user experience that's fitted for the device that they're taking the course on. That's why responsive is very important to consider when you're building courses.
And when you talk about the experience that people expect to have on their devices, the mobile environment is very different than a desktop environment. And I know that you're going to be, in the workshop you're going to be talking a lot about the types of interactions that you can build in a mobile environment. And what kind of interactions do you think we should be focusing on in the mobile environment? What works for mobile that might not necessarily work in a desktop environment?
Well, definitely touchscreen. I love to be able to take advantage of the touchscreen, to use drag and drops, maybe flicks or swipes or different things like that. That's the kind of stuff that works on a mobile device, that works on a phone, on a tablet or something like that. That I think if you do that, it actually gives the user that wow experience, and I think they get to actually interact with it, touch the buttons or different things on their device. And I think it becomes a little bit more real to them. That obviously doesn't work on a desktop, but it does work on a mobile device, and using HTML5 and different things like that, you can get this really kind of personal experience for the learner.
Excellent. And I know you're going to be specifically exploring in your workshop Adobe Edge Animate as the tool to create a lot of these interactions. And there are so many different tools that you can use to create content, both in desktop and mobile environments. What is it specifically about Edge Animate that you like to use for the mobile content development?
I love Edge Animate because it is so flexible, and I think that's the thing that just keeps me coming back to Edge Animate, is the flexibility to be able to tie into different JavaScript libraries, to be able to go in and visually lay out my content, make it responsive as well. And the nice thing about Edge Animate is the fact that it produces straight HTML5. It doesn't produce any other wrapper or any other player or anything like that. It's HTML5 content, and it's responsive HTML5 content. Now you can go in and you can create an interaction inside of Edge that's, you know, a basic one without any code. It speaks to people who are just learning. You can go in there and create this interaction, but adding on the flexibility, you can go in and you can add on whatever code you want. So you can tie in green sock animations, or you can tie in jQuery, or pretty much anything that you want into there and make it even that more extensible, as well as drag and drops, and you know, anything pretty much is, the sky's the limit with Edge Animate. And the nice thing about it is you can take Edge Animate and anything that you actually build, and you can then take it and put it inside of an e-learning course. It's not an e-learning tool specifically, but it basically provides you the flexibility to create whatever you want and then still use your e-learning tool as the wrapper to wrap everything around, to add on quizzes and stuff, and to deliver your courses through still Storyline or Captivate or Lectora, whatever you're using. But you get even more enhanced capabilities with Edge Animate when you build something in Edge Animate and then bring it inside of your e-learning tool.
Excellent. And I know that there's, you touched on it now, that there's so much extra power attached to this. What you can do just basically, you can go beyond. And I know you're going to be spending a full day in a pre-conference workshop at mlearning going into exactly what we've been talking about, taking a deeper dive into how you can create HTML5 interactions using Adobe Edge Animate. So if I'm going to be in Austin this June attending mlearning and I decide to come to your workshop, can you give me an idea of what my experience is going to be like if I'm going to be going to Austin and attending the workshop this year?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to start out with Edge Animate, just getting it installed, making sure everything is working. We're going to go through the basics, looking at the user interface. We're going to talk about how to make your content responsive, how to add on text, how to add on images, and to do the basic stuff. We're going to make sure that you have that down. And then once we have that, then we're going to go on to, okay, how do you make it a little bit more flexible? How do you shift things at different screen sizes? How do you go in and add media? How do you go in and add video? Or how do you go in and add audio? And then basically go on and add on, okay, how do you start making stuff interactive? How do you show things, hide things? And how do you then take that and publish it out to HTML5 content? Or how do you take that and put it inside of iBooks Author? Or how do you wrap that up inside of PhoneGap or anything like that? So there's really a lot to cover within that, but we're going to make sure that you get I'm going to make sure that you get the basic foundation to be able to go on and to start building your own content, your own interactions inside of Edge Animate.
Excellent. Sounds like that people are going to be able to get a lot out of the full day workshop in Austin this year. Definitely getting everything they need to get started using it for their own development.
It's a lot to cover, but the most common comment that I get is Edge Animate, once people start learning it, is really fun to actually use. So it's going to be a fun conference, fun pre-conference to be able to sit down and to play with the tool. It is very hands-on, so we expect to come in and actually start using the tool right away. We'll follow along, you'll follow along with me, and we'll start building some actual learning interactions that you can use right inside of your own courses.
Wonderful. Well, I know you've done a number of workshops for us at other events in the past, and we always get great reviews on it. So I know anyone who's going to be thinking about coming to your workshop in Austin is going to be really happy with what the experience that they get. So if you're interested in learning more about the workshop that Jeff mentioned, or at any of the workshops or conference activities that are taking place, visit our website, mlearncon.com. The mlearncon Conference and Expo takes place June 10th through the 12th. In Austin, Texas, with our pre-conference workshops taking place June 9th. And again, you can get details on everything that's happening in Austin this year, mlearncon.com. Jeff, I want to thank you so much for spending some time this afternoon with me talking about mobile learning.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you in Austin or next time online during Twist Conversations. Take care, everybody.